Live, love, and lead. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching us from this wonderful day. This is the Inspired Family Leader Program with Samuel A. Bakutana, your host, a certified executive coach, an award-winning leadership consultant, a global speaker and author, the CEO of Inspired Leaders International, the president of Fathers Union in Uganda. What a privilege, what an opportunity, what a blessing for us to be alive in this new year. This is 2023, the beginning of the year. And you know, when the year is beginning, we often make all those kinds of resolutions and so on and so forth in different aspects of our life. Some people forget them by February, others by March, and by April, some people can no longer talk about them. But I want to believe that this year is going to be different if you and I choose to make it different. So, Happy New Year! But most importantly, Happy New You in the Happy New Year. If you change nothing, nothing will change. But if you change something, something is going to change for you this year. And so today, our topic is the 23 things every man should do in 2023. We have an interesting lineup of the 23 things. 23, no big deal about the number 23, just because this is the year 2023. So there are some 23 things that are lined up that every man should attempt, every man should do in this year of 2023. And in studio with me to converse about this topic is my brother, my friend, a fellow leader, my wonderful brother that we serve together at Inspired Leaders International, who happens to be our training and development associate at Inspired Leaders International. And he's going to be introducing himself. He's called Jesse Ainebiona. So, my brother Jesse, you're very welcome.
Thank you, Samuel.
How are you doing?
Awesome.
Today there is a different vibe in the studio.
Sure.
It's a new year, it's a new season.
Yes.
Would you like to greet the people who are watching right now?
Right away.
And introduce yourself thereafter.
Thank you. Thank you, Samuel. I'm delighted to be on the show yet again. As already mentioned, my name is Jesse Ainebiona. Professionally, I trained as a mechanical engineer. And currently, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a speaker, and I'm a trainer. I train people in areas of sales, customer service, public speaking, personal financial management, to mention but a few. And my purpose is to help people to become a better version of themselves. I am a husband to Diana, who is celebrating her birthday today. So I'd like to say happy birthday, my darling. No, we can't
just say. We have to sing for Diana. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Diana. Happy birthday to you. When I said dear Diana, I thought for you would say dear something else. Something else.
Well, yes, but I'm so happy and delighted that she was born, and on this day she makes a milestone. I wish her all the best, and I look forward to many more years together, celebrating life and doing life together as we enjoy this journey that God has given us.
Yeah.
I'm a father to Mariah, who is 3, and Ruby, who is 5. And I also serve with certain volunteer organizations like Rotary International, where I'm a member of the Rotary Club of Kampala West. I also belong to Toastmasters, where I'm delighted and privileged to serve currently as the division director for Uganda. So I serve as the country director for Toastmasters in Uganda. That aside, I love to be happy, I love life, and I love to empower people to become a better version of themselves. And yes, I believe tonight, as we share the 23 things that every man should do in the year 2023, a man out there will be impacted, influenced, and transformed.
And equipped.
And equipped.
Yes, and tooled. And resourced.
Yes.
And given what they require in order to be able to make 2023 a year of a difference.
Yes.
Without just talking about it. 2023, when we were crossing over from 2022 to 2023,
Yes.
people were in different places.
Yes.
So some people were in churches, others were in whatever, many different places.
Yes.
And they had all these promises, brought onto them.
Yes.
2023 is going to be a year for, give me those words.
Financial breakthrough.
Financial breakthrough.
Deliverance.
2023 is going to be a year of deliverance.
It's going to be a year of exceeding expectations.
International quantum leaps. It's going to be a year of double.
Yes.
But let me tell you, 2023 is going to be exactly the same or even worse than 2022 if you do nothing about it.
Sure.
There is nothing special about 2023. It's just a year like any other. But something that is going to make it a year of a difference is whatever you are going to do about it. That's why we are here today to talk about the 23 things that we thought about critically, that if you do them in 2023, by the way, even if you do just half of them, your life is going to be different.
Yes.
As a man particularly.
Yes.
And for you, the ladies who are watching, the women who are watching, our mothers, our wives, our sisters, oh, how we love you. Just keep tuned in, because the things we are going to be talking about concerning the men, the boys, the males, the husbands, the fathers, they can actually be applicable in your life too, apart from just a few that could be very specific according to gender. Otherwise, more than 60% of the things we are going to address this day, they help both the men and the women, but we want to particularly address them to the man who is watching us.
Yeah.
So call him to come close.
Yes.
We are going to be speaking his language.
Thank you. And if you're a wife, by the way, and you're
Yes.
watching the show tonight, look out for some things where you can intentionally help your man
Yes.
to do.
Okay.
Yes.
And what if I don't have a man? I am a single lady and I'm watching.
If you're a single lady and you are watching,
Yes.
look out for the things that the man you aspire to have. Maybe these are things that he can begin to do. In case you're dating,
Okay.
these are things you can advise him to consider doing
But
for his
probably-
own good and betterment and better improvement.
Yes, and probably she has a brother.
Yes.
She can help the brother to get better.
And these things are not just for men.
No.
Just that today we are addressing the man.
Yes.
But be sure that if you as a lady you do it, you will certainly become better.
So, for example, we are taking it on from there.
Yes.
You are going to give us point number 1. What should every man do this year, 2023, in order to make this year better? Point number 1.
In no particular order.
Yes.
I want to say point number 1 is read empowering books.
Read empowering books.
Empowering books. It could be a book on business. It could be a book on money. It could be a book on family. A book that I'm currently reading. One of the things I challenge myself to do this year, I read many books in the area of personal development, developing my attitude, my leadership, and many other skills
Yes.
about me. But one of the things I've challenged myself to do this year is to read a book on marriage. So this year, last week, I bought myself a book called
Which book?
Marriage and Money, God's Way.
Marriage
And Money,
God's
God's
way.
Way.
Who is the author? Is
The
that
author is Howard Dayton.
Marriage and Money.
And Money, God's Way.
Okay.
Something that even just reading through, as soon as I bought it,
Way.
I sat in the bookshop where I bought it and started reading it.
Yes.
And already I was reminded of certain things that I just need to resume doing.
So why should a man read this 2023?
A man should read this year 2023. Why? Because it is said, and this is Jim Rohn who said, that you will be the same person in 5 years' time, except for 2 things. So in 5 years' time, the man that is watching this show
Yes.
would still be the same, except for these 2 things. One are the people you spend your time with, and we'll talk about that later.
Yes.
But the second thing that will change who you are the books you read. When you put in new information, when you learn new things, you become a better person. You learn to think better. It gives you an insight on something that you need to do.
Okay.
Probably some of the things you're dealing with right now, the solution could be somewhere written in a book.
Yes.
So read empowering books.
Read empowering books.
Yes.
That's very important.
True.
Point number 2, as a man this year, find time to rest. Jesse, let me tell you,
Yes.
men can move all over the place and work. And do one thing and do another and move from one area to another and do many things. And we forget to rest.
Yes.
And I am speaking to myself for your information. I can move and do things. I am involved in a number of things, but I am learning to take intentional rests.
Yes.
This year, make sure that you find time as a man and rest. You don't have to, first of all, be totally depleted emotionally, physically, mentally, and so on and so forth before you can take a rest. Or you don't have to first break down before you can take a rest.
Yeah.
It's important that this year you intentionally decide to give your body some rest. So that your body is a vehicle that takes you to your future. If your body is in a dangerous mechanical condition, you won't arrive at your future.
Yes.
And particularly for some of you who are younger men, let me tell you what somebody told me a number of years ago. He said that when you are relatively younger, your body can put up with a lot of abuse. But when you grow up, you will pay for it. So this year, intentionally find time for rest. Point number 3.
Point number 3 is have a meaningful relationship with God. Cultivate a meaningful relationship with God. And there are many ways you can do this. You can identify maybe a regular Bible study that you can be a part of. You can find a regular time to sit down and pray. You can have a fellowship that you belong to. But whatever you do, cultivate and have a meaningful relationship with God. Why is this important? At the end of the day, we all know that we have a creator. And there is a void that we have inside each of us that will forever remain empty and only God can fill it. So create that meaningful relationship with God this year. Be intentional on your Bible study. Be intentional on having a routine to pray as a family or as a man. And then find a group of people that believe that you can be a part of and grow together in fellowship.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very critical.
Very.
Point number 4. In 2023, improve your skill of public speaking. Improve your public speaking ability. Do you know where a man is given a microphone to greet the people? They say, come and say something. They give you that microphone. They give you that platform. And then you speak and speak and speak. And after 3, 4, 5 minutes, people can't put a finger on any point you have so far made. Because for you, you are a talker, not a speaker. There is a difference between being a talker and being a speaker. This year, my brother, can you do your best and improve your public speaking skill? So that when you stand up in the league of people, you know, in the community, on a platform, wherever you will be, and you open your mouth to say something, you not only say something that is sensible, something that is solid, something that is meaningful, but you also say it in a way that represents you well, in a way that people can understand what you're communicating. So don't just talk, speak. Don't just speak. Make sure you communicate. Don't just communicate, connect. Don't just connect, inspire. Don't just inspire, cause action. Don't just cause action. Ensure that action is for transformation. And it begins with your ability to know what to say, when to say it, and especially how to say it more effectively. If it means taking a course, a short course in public speaking, please go and do it. All right? So improve your public speaking skill this year.
Yes.
Point number 5.
Point number 5 that a man out there should do seriously this year is to work on your friendships. Men, let's be honest. Ladies do this so well. They meet,
true.
they catch up, they talk, they pour out. But men, many times we bottle things up. We don't have someone to talk to. When life presses you and you're down to your last coin, nobody knows. Your friends don't know. You will sit and talk about Man U, you'll talk about Arsenal, you'll talk about who won the World Cup and how happy you are that Messi took it. But you'll not talk about your issues. And that alone is causing us a lot of stress. A lot of stress. So as a man this year, find those few people that you can be vulnerable with. Commit to meeting regularly. Open up your life. Be vulnerable to them. Cultivate meaningful relationships and friendships this year.
Meaningful friendships this year.
Meaningful, not destructive. Not those who are going to take you away from your family, not those who are going to lower you into drinking and drug abuse. No. People that are going to hold your back and help you to become a better you.
And number 6, this year, please, as a gentleman, address your dressing. Address your dressing. Have you of recent met a man who is dressed to whom it may concern? You look at the way a man is presenting himself and you realize he doesn't think that personal presentation is important. This year, I would like you to dress the way you would like to be addressed. So how would you want to be addressed? Do you want to be addressed as a gentleman? Ask yourself how gentlemen dress. Do you want to be addressed as whatever it is? Think about it. Honorable, as sir. How do those kinds of people, gentlemen, honorables, sirs, put on? You may want to go back to your wardrobe. You may want to go back to where you put your clothes, your closet, and start to study the kind of things you have in that closet and ask yourself, what must change? What must change in your wardrobe this year as a man? If you need some help, ask some people to help you know how to. You know, some men can do color clashing, Jesse. You see a man who is putting on, the shirt is white, the coat is green, the trouser is blue, the socks are yellow, and the shoes are brown. And you say, what's this? Please address your dressing. It's very important that you dress as a presentable man, a man of dignity, a man who is worthy of being respected. And when you are going to do that, you have to know that one of your enemies, and this could shock you by the way, one of your enemies to right dressing is fashion and trends. You do not have to follow every fashion, every trend. Let me tell you, there are some fashions I have totally failed to relate myself with, even when I want to stay trendy and fashionable and relating with people, even in this generation. Because some fashions are actually not dignified. And as a man this year, don't just put on to impress just anybody and everybody. No, put on to build a personal brand that is dignified and respectful.
Yes.
Let's go to the next point right now, Jesse.
Thank you. And as you address your dressing, pay attention to what is happening inside and do regular medical checkups.
So that's number 7.
That's number 7.
Regular medical checkups.
Men, sometimes you think you're okay. Wellness is not merely absence of disease. Don't wait to first feel sick or feel pain before you go to a doctor. Do some regular checkups. Go and check your blood pressure. Check your sugar levels. Check your PSA for the prostate. As a man, be intentional this year on checking your body, the state of your body. Some things you may not know until you go to check. Yes. And we are always told that early diagnosis is always the trick. It's always the game changer. When you detect a problem early enough, you stand a better chance of solving it before it gets too late. Probably by the time you feel the pain, it has maybe made some strides. But if you could check it out now and address it before it goes an extra mile, you can stay healthier in the year 2023.
Do you know how most of us men, we first collapse before we can do any checkup?
Yes.
You know, you first wait to be totally down and you are feeling pain. You've been feeling pain for a month, but you refuse to go to the hospital for any checkup.
Yes.
So that's very critical.
Very true.
Now, point number 8. Remember, we are talking about the 23 things every man should do in 2023. Number 8, protect your mind. As a man, please this year, protect your mind. What are some of the things you have been feeding your mind on? Some men feed their mind on bad music. And of course, I know some people may have a whole debate on bad music. Music is music. What do you mean by bad? Some men feed their minds on pornography. Some men feed their minds on gossip and rumor mongering from around them, from other people. Some men feed their minds on, we can talk about many things that contaminate the mind. This year, I would like you to know that your mind is one of your greatest resources. I was watching a video clip from T.D. Jakes recently, and he was talking about a time when he was in South Africa. And he was at the zoo and looking at all these animals. And he saw, different animals were given different defense mechanisms. When you look at the lion, it roars. When it roars, everybody is shaking. Why? Because God gave the lion the roar to be its defense mechanism. When you look at an elephant, it is so huge, so big, it is voluminous, it is humongous, it is enormous, it is huge, it's big in size. Because size is the defense mechanism for the elephant. When it comes, every other thing has to move on the side. So he was asking himself, what about man? As a human being, what has God given me as my defense mechanism? And he says that a revelation came to him that man, the defense mechanism given to us as human beings, is our mind. Man can think creatively, can think innovatively, can think strategically, can think in many ways. Your brain is your most important, your mind is your most important point of defense in this world. It's your greatest resource. This year, protect it. Don't just listen to any music. Listen to music that builds you. Don't watch any television program. Watch the Inspired Family Leader program every Saturday, 9 to 10 p.m. Yes. don't go to any training. Make sure you do due diligence, because they are going to be putting some things in your mind. Don't befriend anybody, because whoever you befriend will be speaking to you and putting something in your mind. If you walk with 9 fools this year, you will be the 10th. Please protect your brain. Protect your mind particularly, not per se the brain, because those are two different things. Protect your mind as point number 8.
Yes.
And now here is point number 9.
Point number 9 that a man should do this year is create time for recreation to avoid burnout.
Create time for recreation to avoid burnout.
Recreation is something that you do that fulfills you and helps you to overcome stress and avoid burnout.
Yes.
It could be, for example, watching a good movie. That does not mean that you spend all your time watching movies, but it simply means that you take up some time
watching soccer.
Watching soccer. That does for me sometimes. It could be taking a walk. It could be going swimming, maybe playing some football, or maybe playing volleyball, or playing something, doing something. Find something that you can do meaningfully that is constructive to help you to avoid burnout. Many times we burn out, and when we burn out, we become ineffective. We cannot be productive because you are burnt out. You never take time to rest. You're working all through the day. You even take work home. You wake up so early. You sleep so late, Monday to Sunday. You cannot operate like that.
Yes.
Every machine, even your mobile phone, you have to reset it. It has to recharge. What do you do?
Sometimes it refuses to work, and you have to first of all switch it off.
Exactly.
Switch it on again before it can work.
And it begins to work better. Your computer sometimes freezes, and all you have to do is to shut it down and then restart it. Make sure you reset yourself before you are forced to do so.
Reset yourself before you are forced to do so. Number 10. As a man this year, please add great value to your workplace. So you could be, whatever you do, whichever is your workplace, whether it is a white-collar job at some bank, whether it is in some NGO that you work in, whether it is in the market, you sell things, you have a shop, whatever it is that you work, please add great value. And let me address this particularly to the corporate man, to the professional man. You are in that workplace, you are in that place where you have the job. That job is a platform for you to make a difference. Don't just look at that job that you have, that workplace. Don't just look at it as a source of money. Yes, they pay you, they give you a salary, they give you your remuneration and your emoluments and wages and stipends and whichever other name they are called, and allowances and etc. Don't just look at them as sources of money. Look at your job as a platform for adding value. And so be intentional this year on how you are going to add great value to your workplace. How are you going to add great value? Is it through, the way you can help other fellow workers? Is it through getting a new innovative idea you can bring on board? Is it doing more than, what the job description says that you have been given? Is it bringing some gifts that you have, personal gifts, and you bring them into play in the workplace? How are you going to add value to your workplace this year? So stop going there as a man to just do what you were told to do, get your money and go away. No. This year, go to your workplace to be a man who adds value. And you can't be a man who adds value if you're not a man of value. So don't seek success, seek value. Don't seek success, seek significance. And significance can only come to you as a man if you choose to have a mindset of, I am going to add value here. I am going to add value here. Point number 11.
Point number 11 that you can do this year is to practice generosity. Practice generosity simply means find a cause that you can commit yourself to and serve. They say service is the rent that we pay for living in this world.
Service is the rent we pay
for living in this world.
For the privilege of living on this earth.
Thank you. So give to a cause where you don't expect much from there, where you can give generously, just give.
Yes.
It could be donating your time. Maybe you serve people. You find a place, somewhere you can volunteer your time just to help and give a hand. Be part of a volunteer organization. It could be your talent. Maybe you have an expertise that you can donate, that you can serve freely without expecting money back. It could be your treasure, your money. Maybe you can help the less fortunate. Maybe you can give to your local church. Maybe you can give to a compassion project. Maybe you can give to a charity organization. Find a place that you can serve. There is fulfillment that comes from serving where you do not expect, because like I mentioned earlier, service is the rent that we pay for the privilege of living in this world. So this year, be more generous, and you'll be amazed at how fulfilled you can be, and also how much you can contribute towards life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we always hear people saying, I am a go-getter, I'm a go-getter. So generosity therefore requires that this year, as men, we become go-givers.
Yes.
Be a go-giver. You don't have to be a go-getter. Be a go-giver.
Yes.
We are about to be taking a break after the next 2 points. So, second last for this segment, number 12. Maximize your ability to produce wealth this year. As a man, maximize your ability to produce wealth. I don't know how much you earn every month as a man. I don't know how much you earn every week. I don't know how much you earn every year. I don't know how much you earned in your life last year. But do you know that it is possible this year to double that income, to triple that income, to get the income you got last year times 5, times 10, times 20? Or does it sound far-fetched? Let me tell you, it is possible. I would like you this year to maximize your ability to produce wealth. And you see, I am saying maximize your ability, because wealth comes from what we already have, who you already are, what you have within you, the capacity to think, the capacity to innovate, the ability to create. The ability to think, maximize your ability to produce wealth. Last year, I produced my 16th book titled Ability to Produce Wealth. And I put in a lot of nuggets that can help a man, a woman, anybody to produce wealth. Part of the ability you have are the gifts that you have. The Word of God tells us in Proverbs chapter 18, verse 16, that a man's gift creates room for him and makes him sit with great men. That ability that you have, the gift, the talents, the skills, the knowledge that you have, those are already your seeds of prosperity. This year, I would like you to learn how to monetize them. Whether you are a public speaker, you can do emceeing, you can, whatever it is, the gift that you have. Some of them are sophisticated gifts like coding, like, and so on and so forth. Maximize that ability, whatever it is. Maximize your ability to produce wealth. Let's have one more point, and after that, we take a break. So point number 13 before we take a break.
Point number 13 is drink more water.
Drink more water.
Yes.
Sound is so simple. Is it that important?
Very important. Water is something that our bodies need more water than anything else.
Yes.
In fact, they say our bodies are 70% water. So this year, challenge yourself to give your body more water.
Yes.
And the simple way to do it is buy yourself a water bottle and every morning fill it. The mere act of carrying around a bottle with water
Yes.
will cause you to drink it. Because out of mind, out of sight is out of mind.
in many
If you
ways.
don't see it, if you have to first go and look for water to drink it, you will take little. Carry a bottle. If you can find a simple bottle, put in water and continue to drink. When you hydrate yourself, most of the problems we have, headaches, to mention headaches, feeling weak and feeling low, feeling sick,
Even some body pains.
even some body pains, most of those can be overcome
Yes.
by the act of drinking more water.
That's
So
true.
reduce on certain drinks and drink more water because it will help you to be more healthy.
So my bottle is here with
Yes,
me.
mine is also
I am
here.
going to take a break so that I can sip. I can take a sip on my water. Drink more water.
Water.
Gentlemen, this year it's important. We have talked about 13 points so far. And we are talking about the 23 things that every man should do this year in 2023. So we have 10 more to go, and the majority of those 10 remaining are going to be focusing on your role as a husband if you are having a wife already, and on your role as a father if you have children. So don't go away. Coming back with the remaining 10 things you have to do this year, 2023. I am drinking water. Certified executive coach, award-winning leadership consultant, global speaker and author, the CEO of Inspired Leaders International and the Provincial Fathers Union President. We are talking about the 23 things every man should do this year in 2023. And in the first segment of our conversation, we have talked about 13 of them. And so now in this last lap, we are handling 10 more. And in studio, if you have just joined us, I am joined by my brother, my friend, and a fellow leadership developer, and fellow leader, fellow husband, fellow father, Mr. Jesse Ainebiona, the Training and Development Associate at Inspired Leaders International, a Division Director of Toastmasters International in Uganda, and a man of value here to add value to us. We talked about 13 things. Now, here is point number 14. This year, as a man, do everything with excellence. Let me tell you, I am tired of my fellow men who are in love with mediocrity. I am tired of my fellow men who are in love with averageness. You ask a man, how are you? And he says, fair, fair. You say, how is your life? He says 50-50. You say, how is your work? He says ish. And you are wondering, your life can never be at 60, your work can never be at 70. This is a year when you should think about doing things with excellence. Whatever thing you put your hand on, do it with your whole might. Do it with excellence. Painstaking excellence. If you are loving your wife, love her with excellence. If you are having a moment with your children, do it with excellence. If you put your hand on playing an instrument, a music instrument, do it to the best of your ability. This year cannot be a year of mediocrity anymore. I see a number of men doing things with averageness. But this year, I would like to challenge you, as I challenge myself, as we together challenge one another, to put in an extra in the ordinary so that we do extraordinary things. Allow the super to help you the natural, to do the supernatural. Everything you do, if it is okay, add a plus. At Inspired Leaders International, where I serve as the CEO, we have that as a policy that we always have to do okay plus one as a bare minimum. So where everybody is saying it is okay to do it this way, we say, well, let us add something. And if we can add another something and another something and another something, we end up doing things excellently. As a man this year, do everything with excellency. When you do things with excellency, you will be reliable. When you do things with excellency, you will be trusted. When you do things with excellency, you will be outstanding. You will stand out of the crowd. You won't get lost in the crowd. When you do things with excellency, you will make great progress in your life. And as people recognize the level of excellency with which you do your things, they will trust you with opportunities. Number 15.
Something number 15 that you can do this year is to learn a new skill.
Learn a new skill.
Learn a new skill. Human beings are stretchable. We are like rubber bands.
Yes.
And rubber bands are only useful when they are stretched. Learning a new skill can be uncomfortable in the start.
Yes.
But one of the things you want to do is to learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
That's what learning a new skill can
Then
be.
is there comfort in that?
When you become comfortable with being uncomfortable, then the new discomfort will soon become a comfortable place for you. So continue to challenge yourself.
Yes.
Because they say what does not challenge you will not change you.
Say that again.
If something does not challenge you, it will not change you. A few skills you can challenge yourself to learn this year. One, you can learn the skill of reading. Some of us keep saying, I'm not a good reader. You can start reading. At least you read WhatsApp messages. Now move on from a WhatsApp message to reading a page of a book. Then you can read a chapter. Then you can find yourself reading a book maybe every 2 weeks or every month. Learn the skill of reading. It could be the skill of writing. You can begin to write. Maybe you can even start writing a blog. You can soon become an author by writing a book. You can learn the skill of speaking. Like Samuel said, learn the art of public speaking. That is a skill. You can learn how to cook if you would like to, or you have not yet learned to. You can learn how to drive in case you are not driving yet. You can learn how to play an instrument. It can be learning how to type and use a computer swiftly. It may be learning how to use PowerPoint. It could be learning how to design a poster. Learn a new skill this year. When you challenge yourself, it will help you to become a better person.
Awesome. Learn a new skill. The more skilled you are, the greater work you are able to do. The more platforms you are able to access. This business of what is your skill, what are the skills that you have, and then you have one skill. Those days are over, my fellow brother. Those days are over. Learn a new skill. And now, number 16. Have a vision and values for your family. If you are a family man, let's transition to family men particularly.
That's one more.
Have a vision and values for your family. Where are you taking your family this year? Where are you going? What's the... You know, during the last season of Christmas, my family and I went away for a family vacation. We do that every year as a matter of priority, as a matter of fact, as a family policy. We went for a vacation for a number of days. And one of the things we focused on last month, just about, it's actually last week, you know, it's when it was last year. One of the things we focused on was the strategic direction of our family. So on a number of days, we took off about 3 days to focus on that particularly. On those 3 days, we refined the vision of our family afresh. We reviewed our 5 family values. We came up with the family theme for 2023. We attached a family scripture for 2023. And we agreed on the key family song for 2023.
Wow.
And everybody participated. The children, my son Prosper, gave awesome ideas. My daughter Petra gave awesome contributions. My dear wife, Honorable Charity, Miss Universe, the queen of my heart, my watermelon, gave amazing contribution to the conversation. And we ended up with a more clarified, reviewed, and refined strategic direction for the family. So where are you taking your family this year? It is very important that you clarify the vision of your family, and you also have crystal clear values that you have agreed upon as a family, and you hold each other accountable to those values. This year, please do it. And now, number 17.
Number 17, as a husband, have regular dates with your wife. Do you remember when you were dating her? You took her out.
Yes.
Went to restaurants.
Brought flowers.
Brought flowers. You had amazing experiences until you got married. Now,
what happened?
What happened? You got married. So this year, as a fellow husband, let's challenge ourselves to date our wives. Let us get them out of the home and take them somewhere. And when you spend money on your wife, it is not an expense. It is an investment.
Sisters clap. Sisters clap. Sisters are clapping. The wives are clapping.
So invest in her. Take her out. Buy her favorite thing. Maybe cake.
What if
maybe
I don't
drink.
have money? I don't have money.
Use your budget. Cut your coat according to your cloth. Use whatever money you can find and go according to your budget. But at least do something.
Have regular dates. We have fees to pay.
Yes.
We are even going to the new town. There is no money, Jesse.
It's okay. You can still go out and drink that water together. The most important thing is the time together.
Okay.
Look her in the eye. Have a heart-to-heart conversation.
Yes.
Talk. Affirm
Yes.
each other. Have a state of the marriage address.
State of the marriage. State
Of the marriage.
of the marriage address. Soma.
Yes.
State of the marriage address.
That one. Yes, so have those regular conversations. Talk about your marriage. How is it going? How is your communication? Is there unresolved conflict? How is your intimacy? How are you doing in that area? Sometimes things go bad and we just keep quiet because we fear to bring them up. But be a man and have those conversations with your wife this year. Don't let conflict go unresolved. And then one day you just bottle up over a small issue. Have regular dates with your wife. Talk heart to heart. If there are things to talk about, have a conducive environment and talk about those things.
Have regular dates with your wife. Period. And as he has explained, it has nothing to do with having a lot of money. Because that is one big reason that many men give for not taking their wives out. It's all about being somewhere together. You can even have a date inside your house. It's all about, can we spend quality time, the two of us alone? Now, number 18, related to that, be a student of your wife. You have been a student of human resource management as a man. You have been a student of financial management. You have been a student of robotics. You have been a student of agriculture and fisheries. You have been a student of medicine. You have been a student of all these things. You are a student of Aristotle, a student of Plato, a student of Miles Monroe. You are a student of John Maxwell. You are a student of politics, political science. Can you choose to be a student of your wife this year? What do you really know about your wife? When she sits back and holds herself like this and just looks up, what does it mean? When she looks down and she's scratching her head, what does it mean? When you say, how are you? And she says, okay. What does it mean? Can you be a student of your wife? Can you read her like a book this year? Can you get to know, when my wife moves very fast, it's often about this. When my wife is moving so slowly, it is often about this. When I ask her and she answers this way, many times it's about this. Can you be a student of your wife? And for some of you who have been married for more than 10 years, for 20 years, for 30 years, my friend Godfrey Natkunda, together with your wife, Dina Natkunda, you made 30 years. Just last week you were celebrating 30 years. For some of you who have made 30 years in marriage, 27 years, 25, 40 years, like my friend Yosami Tamba, who made 42 years in marriage last year, you can so easily familiarize your wife. And you settle down and you think you already know her in every way. Let me tell you, human beings keep growing and changing and getting better. Keep being a student of your wife. Keep looking at how she behaves when, so that you know how to relate with her better. Number 19.
Number 19, as a husband this year, be a servant leader to your wife. Be a servant leader to your wife. On one of those dates that you have with your wife, I want you to ask this question. Look her in the eye and ask her, honey, or darling, whatever name you choose to call your wife.
Come on there.
Ask her, how can I serve you better this year? Ask that one question and let her speak as you listen. All the ideas that she has will be given to you. It may be serving her, maybe by cleaning the bedroom. It may be serving her by cleaning the bathroom.
And that's why we will not ask.
Yes.
Because we are afraid of the answers we may get.
But that's how she wants to be served.
Okay.
You see, the best example that Jesus gave us was to wash our feet.
Yes.
That was an act of servanthood.
Yes.
That was servant leadership on display. Our wives would like us to serve them. It could be by taking the children away so that she can have some time to herself and have some time to rest.
I've seen you do that.
I do that because I know she likes it.
Yes.
It could be maybe helping her to run some errands.
Yeah.
Maybe she runs a business and she needs an encourager. Maybe she needs you to just encourage her when she is so overwhelmed by her job tasks. It could be whatever it is that she likes to do, she would like you to do to serve her. But be a servant leader to your wife.
Yes.
Be a great leader by serving your wife. Ask her, how can I serve you? And keep on asking, how can I serve you this year?
Yes.
It will increase the temperature of your marriage.
That sounds like a subject for a topic for discussion on one of these Saturdays. How to increase the temperature of your marriage.
Why
as
not?
long as it is warmth, not fire.
Yes.
Whatever you're increasing. Point number 20. Are you a father? Well, this year, be a cheerleader for your children. Become a cheerleader for your children this year. Be intentional on becoming a cheerleader for your children. Do you know that us as parents, particularly we the fathers, most times we have become the greatest discouragers of our children. A child comes with an idea and you pour cold water on it. A child fails to perform so well like you expected in school and you almost kill them. So at the end of the day, you kill their curiosity when they ask a question and you shut them down. You fail to be a cheerleader. You do not attend those open days. You don't attend when they are... Recently, our children, where they go to school, they had an annual convention where all the students come together. They put together a lot of awesome creative pieces of art, singing, playing instruments, and so on and so forth. And so we went there with my wife. I always do my best to be present on all those kinds of functions where my children are. So when we went there, we found our children were participating in many things. They were participating in many different things, in sports and games, indoor and outdoor games and sports. They were participating in public speaking, in playing music instruments, and so on and so forth. My daughter recited a speech out of memory, the speech of the late Dr. April Milton Obote, who was the president of Uganda at independence. And she spoke like the president of this country. Do you know where that is coming from? At home, I encourage her to speak. I give her opportunities to speak. My son Prosper won a silver medal for being the best guitarist. He was playing the guitar. And so on and so forth. My daughter right now has a dream of building a hotel. Can I ever say, that's too big for you? No. Be a cheerleader. Even when your children are struggling, if you have mature children who are already married, if they are struggling in their own families, in their own marriage, cheer them on, help them, encourage them, empower them, give them positive energy. Number 21.
Number 21, have quality and quantity time with your children. Have quality and quantity time with your children.
We are used to hearing only quality time.
Yes. Quality comes with quantity. When you have more quantity, in the quantity, in mathematics, when you want to have a probability, you have to increase the sample space. If you want to increase the probability of having quality time, increase the sample space of quantity time.
Yes.
So spend more time with your children. The beauty about that, one is that it creates bonding. Two, it creates memories. Three, you will begin to learn and understand your children. Four, you will even begin to identify behavior that needs to be corrected.
Yes.
And who can better do that than a father? Don't parent on remote. Be involved with your children.
Wow.
Have time with them. Spend some time. It might be drive time. Have conversations. It might be taking them away and you just, do something that they love to do. But whatever you do, find their interests and blend them into your schedule so that you can spend some time with your children this year.
Relatedly, number 22, provide more than physical needs to your children as a man. This year, provide more than physical needs. Let me say it again. Provide more than physical needs. Many of us men, we have fallen into the trap of thinking that as long as we have provided the physical things, we are great providers. And let me tell you, you're right. You are a wonderful provider if at least for the start, you have cleared the physical needs. The shelter is there. The food is there. The beddings are there where this child can rest. And so on and so forth. Food, clothes, you have provided that. If you have, well done. But let me tell you, that is only the start. You know why? Because the needs of a human being go beyond the physical. And that includes the needs of your children. They don't just need a bed to sleep in. They also need a peace of mind. Can you provide that? They don't just need clothes. They also need a sense of identity. Can you provide that? They don't just need food to eat. They also need improved self-confidence and esteem. Can you boost that in their life? They don't just need a house to live in, but they also need a listening ear. Can you give them a listening ear, not always a talking mouth? As a man, this year decide to provide more than physical needs to your children. Drums roll for point number 23, the very final one from my brother Jesse. Drums roll. And finally, number 23.
This year, as a father, be an encourager and a cheerleader to your children. Be an encourager and a cheerleader to your children. Identify those things that they do and encourage them. Fan that flame of enthusiasm, those gifts that they have. Be a cheerleader. Who can do it better than a father? Tell your sons that you're proud of them. Tell your daughters that they are beautiful. Let them not hear it from the boda man. Let them not hear it from another man out there. You are the first man in your daughter's life. Be a cheerleader. Cheer them on. Whatever projects they are doing, encourage them. Come alongside them. Put that arm around their shoulders and tell them you can do this. I remember my parents did it for me back in school. My grades were low, but because of that encouragement, I was able to turn my grades around. This year, your children need you. Don't let your children be orphans when you're still alive.
Yes.
Be there for them. Cheer them on. Encourage them because you are the best cheerleader that God has placed in this world. You are the only father that your children know in this world as a father.
Yes.
Be a father. Encourage them. Cheer them on 2023.
So, going forward in this year, number 1, read empowering books. Number 2, find time for rest as a man. Number 3, learn a new skill. Number 4, address your dressing. Number 5, go and work on your friendships. Number 6, do things with excellency. Number 7, create time for recreation so that you avoid burnout. Number 8, add great value in your workplace. Number 9, improve your public speaking skills. Number 10, have a meaningful relationship with your creator. Number 11, maximize your ability to produce wealth. Number 12, do regular medical checkups to be sure of your health. Number 13, have regular dates with your wife. Number 14, be a student of your wife. Number 15, be your wife's encourager. Number 16, please have a vision and values for your family this year. Number 17, be a servant leader to your wife. Ask her, how can I serve you better this year? Number 18, drink more water. Rehydrate as often as possible. Number 19, please practice generosity. Don't just be a go-getter. Go and be a go-giver this year. And number 20, Protect your mind, because your mind is your greatest resource. So be careful what you watch, what you listen to, what you expose your mind to. Number 21, have quality and quantity time with your own children. Number 22, be a cheerleader to your own children. And number 23, provide more than physical needs to the children that the Creator has blessed you with. Happy New Year 2023. Go and be a great man. Live exemplary this year. Love authentically this year. And lead relationally this year. This has been the Inspired Family Leader Program with Samuel A. Bakutana, hosting my brother, Jesse Ainebiona. Signing out. God bless you. Make this year count as a man.